Hey, what is up, Debt Free Mafia? Hey, in this video, I wanted to ask the question, is college still worth it? In short, hey guys, my answer is maybe. And I know that kind of seems a little bit open-ended, but I kind of wanted to go into why I think it's worth it, and then also why I think there's other options that could be potentially better for you. There's a lot that we can kind of get into in this video. I don't want to go too in depth, but there are definitely some pros and cons when it comes to going to college and paying for college. If you don't know me, my name is Rick. I'm a financial coach. I help people get out of debt, including student loans. I help them build a financial future. I help them build wealth to be a blessing to not only their children, but their children's children in their lifetime and leave a legacy. So that's what I do. I appreciate you stopping by. Before we get into this, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me out, helps this video kind of go up in the rankings. It helps me start to beat this algorithm. But hey, let's kind of get it into it. So I wanted to kind of go over some statistics. I'm actually going to share my screen. I was reading through this article that actually came out a while back in 2013. So the information is a little bit dated. I looked for some more recent stats, but really haven't done a whole lot of recent stats on this subject. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and we're going to get into it. So okay, so we're going to look through this, and I kind of want to go through some numbers just because I love there to be statistical evidence that kind of backs up both claims. So I want to talk about college education, and I want to talk about trade school, which is becoming a more and more popular option, and I totally get why. So I wanted to look at these numbers. The average high school graduate makes around $30,000 a year versus the average college graduate makes about $45,000 a year. That's $15,000 difference a year, which really adds up over 30 years to almost $500,000. So as you can imagine, it does make a difference, which is good. Our number one weapon to financial success is our income. So higher the income, obviously, the better chances we have at succeeding. Excuse me. All right, so I kind of want to go through some of the drawbacks, especially with what this article is talking about. Let's see. This is so staggering to me. The average cost of a 4-year degree in the United States is $127,000. That is absurd. And the thing that's so troubling to me is the majority of people who do that, including myself, go into debt to pay for it. Which is just nuts, guys. That's unacceptable. It's so expensive, and it's showing. And this is in 2013, so this has definitely gone way up since then. So that's it's wild because student loan debt is rampant, and my whole issue before we jump into these numbers, my whole issue with college is it's meant to give you a head start in life. It's meant to give you better opportunity. But I have so many clients who have left school with this student loan debt. All it's doing is it feels like an anchor that's just there dragging along. When they're trying to get somewhere and trying to get ahead, they got this anchor pulling them back. So that's really why I want to kind of consider one of the cons, which is the cost of college. Here's something that's very staggering too. Not only that, but 40% of people who go into college end up dropping out. Not only that, they take the debt with them, right? They don't get a refund on any of that stuff. So that just makes them even further behind. So they don't get that extra income, and they've got this debt now. So, and that's a good chunk. 40% is a lot of people. So another thing I wanted to talk about is the average cost of trade school. The average cost of trade school is $33,000 versus that $127,000, which is just fantastic. When you're looking at the comparison, right here, 120, that's you're saving almost $100,000 doing that. Granted, it's probably more exaggerated now in today's years. So, and they're predicting, and this is probably closer to what we're facing now. They're predicting $154,000 to go to school, about where we're at now, versus $40,000, which is even more of a drop off. So I think that is just really something crazy to consider when it comes to that. The cool thing too is whenever you're looking at trade school, the income of average of trade school is almost comparable to the average of a college education, which is $42,000. So that's an extra $12,000 that you're getting every year on top when it goes to trade school. The cool thing about trade school too is there's all kinds of opportunities. to get it paid for as well. There's all kind. You can also get scholarships and grants for trade school to be able to pay for it as you go, which I'm a strong proponent when it comes to paying cash for your education, whether it's trade school or college. So you might be asking yourself, hey, how the heck do I pay for college whenever it's so expensive now and you want me to pay for it while I'm young without a major income? And that is a great question. It's very, very difficult to do, but it is possible to do. And this is kind of the path that I would want, a young person, this is the path that I would want to put my own kids behind when it comes to paying for school. So I'm going to go back to my face cam. So really when it comes to college, if you want to do college the most efficient way possible and to make it possible for you to pay for it with cash as you go, the number one way you can do that, and I know this is going to be kind of crazy sounding because a lot of you are like, okay, well, I don't have that option, and that's fair, but I want you to have this mindset going forward so that you can provide this opportunity, and that is being able to pay for it through a college savings account that your parents started. A lot of you are like me and didn't have that. That's okay. That's fine. But what we want to do is we want to get to where we are saving money on the side for our kids' college so that they don't have to go into debt like we did to be able to pay something off. So let this be an encouragement to you. If that's something you've had to do and had to struggle with, let's change that so that your kiddos can start life ahead with their degree or their trade school and not start so far behind like what you did. So when it comes to paying for college, the smartest way to do that is if your child or if you want to go to college, especially once you get to about your junior year and you know that that's what you want to be doing, junior year in high school, your full-time job really outside of school and any part-time jobs that you've picked up is applying for scholarships like there's no tomorrow. We want to try to get that to cover as much as we could. I grew up in the state of New Mexico, and they had this thing called the lottery scholarship, where if you were able to graduate from college with I think it was crazy. It was only like a 2.5. If you went for your whole senior year and you had a 2.5, they would pay all of your tuition for college if you went to an in-state school. They paid it with the taxes that they took off the lottery, the state lottery, which was amazing. So I went to New Mexico State because I had the lottery scholarship. It didn't cover my room and board or my books or my first semester. The reason they don't cover the first semester is because statistically you're going to drop out, so they don't want to pay for something that you might drop out on. But that's why I stayed in school and I didn't go to a big school or a big out-of-state school. If those options are on the table, that's definitely what we need to consider. Looking at my math here, really what you want to do is you want to start out your first 2 years at community college because your basic education is not going to change across the board, whether you go to a private school like TCU or SMU or Baylor, or I'm in Texas, so I'm using private schools for that. It's not going to differ from the community college in your hometown down the street. It's going to save you a ton of money. After you go to those 2 years in community college, then we're going to go to a public school for those last 2 years. And we're going to be doing that by applying for scholarships, grants, whatever it is, working a part-time job, maybe 2 part-time jobs to be saving up cash to cash flow it. Because what is so cool is if you can get through college without any loans, it's just going to be like a rocket ship for your income going forward. You don't have any kind of debt to be worrying about. Your cash flow is better month to month. You're going to be able to pay for things a lot faster than a lot of your peers would be able to. Now, I will tell you it is going to be tough because if you do have dreams to want to be a part of a certain law firm or a medical field that requires a degree from a certain school, that's much more difficult for you to do. You're going to have to really, really, really try hard to get scholarships to be able to pay for that. At the end of the day, not everybody can afford certain schools, and you're just going to have to be okay with that. The cool thing is we have the opportunity to get extra education in the country that we live in here in America. Hopefully in your country too if you're not from America. But guys, I wanted to kind of go through that. Trade school is totally worth it. College, if you do it right, is totally worth it. If you guys have any questions, again, ask me in the comments. If you have any other ideas on how to pay for school, let me know. I'd love to talk about it, maybe do some more stuff on this, guys. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe. I'd love for you to be a part of the Debt Free Mafia. Love you guys. We'll see you. Bye.